Hey Flosstube, welcome to Creative Whims Studio. What a week it's been. Holy cow. There's been a lot. I don't know how, like when I go to plan my Flosstube, there's just so much to share with y'all that, like, so much happens in a week. I don't know. I can't be missing a week because then there's just even more stuff. And I was really going to try to make this go a half an hour, but as I'm looking at all the stuff I have to tell you and share with you, it's not going to happen. But I want to start off by saying thank you for all your wonderful comments and all your help trying to figure out what to change on the 12 days of Christmas. I have some ideas I'm going to be sharing with you about that, but I appreciate all your input. It was wonderful. Excuse me. Announcements this week. One of them, I wanted to talk a little bit about, so I mentioned Happy Llama Tees, my t-shirt Shopify shop, store, whatever you want to call it. The Got Wool shirt, it's actually on there twice, and I wanted to kind of explain that so it wasn't confusing. One is a little more expensive than the other. The less expensive one is the Gildan brand, which is, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Gildan or Gildan, I don't know. It's G-I-L-D-A-N. Very common t-shirt, nice quality. I have one on today. It's nice quality shirt. And then the second one is a Bella, and it's a tri-blend. And I ordered one to see what it's like. I wanted the cut and how it fits your body is important to me, and the softness and what the material feels like. Being that's a little more expensive, I'm figuring with the tri-blend it would probably be a little softer. I don't know, but I ordered one. I should have that to show you next week. But I also wanted to explain or show you size wise, because I know, you know, I mentioned last week, make sure you check the measurement chart. I think that's super important. Otherwise, you know, if it doesn't fit, I don't want you to be disappointed and have to return it and go through all that rigmarole. So I wanted to show you what I'm wearing. This is a large, so here you go. I'm not a super skinny woman, but this is a large, so that kind of gives you an idea of, you know, that might help you pick out your size or whatever. But I'm putting this back on because, as y'all know, I turn off my furnace while I'm videotaping, and it gets chilly in here. And last week, I forgot to turn it back on, and I was not down here at the studio Sunday, Monday, and I think I came down late on Tuesday. I came down late on Tuesday because I was up there trying to finish up my punch needle, and I was painting my watercolors, finishing out my April challenge. So I was doing all that work up there. Well, I came down here late Tuesday afternoon, and it was 45 degrees in my studio because I forgot to turn my furnace back on. So I should set an alarm on my phone or something when I turn it off. Hey, and the lighting looks decent, I think. I can only tell by looking at the camera, but I turned that light off that I've been using. When it's daylight out, I don't think I need it, and I think that's gonna help me when I show things on camera. We'll see how that goes. So I'm trying some new things here. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of let you know about the t-shirts. Where was I? Oh yeah, Etsy. I worked really hard this week. On my Etsy shop, I have a master list of all my punch needle and a master list of all my cross stitch designs. And I went through, I forgot, you guys, when I took everything off my website, like it's still on my website, but you can't order it. I send my stores, my retail shops there so they can see everything all on one page. That's what that's pretty much used for now. If you want to purchase my patterns, first of all, please support your LNS or your favorite online shop, whether it's Etsy or independent website or whatever it is. use my shop as a last resort. I want to support my retail shops. So if you don't have one near you and you want to purchase from me, I do have an Etsy shop, but I forgot all I had on there for cross stitch was the PDFs. I didn't have like the physical chart that you can order. So I spent time this week doing that. I have those all uploaded, and then I went through all the punch needle, and there's, I don't know, there's a handful of those missing, and I plan on doing that, get that all up to date next week. So the Etsy shop is nice and full. Now on to the 12 days of Christmas. I gotta share with y'all what I decided to do. And I forgot to bring the painting over here. I gotta go get it. Thank you everyone for your input. The one that made the most sense to me was take out the American flag, because you know there was a lady from the Netherlands, there was, you know, some people from Canada. Duh, I mean, I don't know why that didn't occur to me first off. So I am definitely taking the American flag off there, and that one is going to be replaced with either 9, there's 3 options I'm trying to narrow down, and if you want to comment on that, that's cool too. 9 cross-stitch charts, or 9 antique samplers, or 9 stitching needles. I'm not sure which one I'm going to put in there. Also, for the basket, instead of saying 5 collectible baskets, that is going to have a couple balls of yarn in it with knitting needles sticking out of it, and it's going to say 5 knitting baskets. Also, I'm changing because I know there's a lot of cat lovers out there, but I know if you don't like cats, you really don't like cats. So I'm taking the cat out, and I'm gonna put a bit, for the hooked rog one, I'm gonna put just a star there. Also, these letters, trying to chart these tiny little letters, I didn't want you to have to do a lot of back stitching, which it may end up having to be back stitched anyways, depending on how big I make each one of these. Instead of having the number here, I was going to put the number in the art somehow. That sounds confusing, but that was another change I made. Okay, so there was a lot of people also that did not, like, some didn't want the teddy bear, some people didn't want the candles, someone didn't want the Santa, some didn't want the wreath. You know, it was like there was a lot of opinions, and I obviously can't change the entire painting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chart off to the side, or like an extra piece of paper in there, of a couple different ideas, so that if you say, I really don't like that Santa, I'm going to swap this out and put it in there, and I'll have, anyway, and I'll have all the numbers and the letters charted separately, so you can change it all around yourself if you want. So I'm going to do that. What else? I think that's it on that. Amazon, my Amazon store, I added a lot to the farmhouse, the primitive decor one. And I want to tell you also, I think I might have mentioned this when I announced it last week, but I know a lot of these companies from going to the Atlanta Mart every January. Park Designs, Dem Deco, CWI, Blossom Bucket, of course, I'm licensed with them. I don't know, but there's like a bunch of these. A lot of the products basically that I put on there are from companies I know personally, and I know their products are good. And so my plan is to, maybe on the ones that I am familiar with, I will go in on a little comment and just put, I know from Atlanta, or something like that, so that you know I know that company. Does that make sense? Because there are some things I picked out, like this cool, like it looks kind of rusty and grungy, pop opener, can opener thing. I don't know. Bottle opener. Jeez, a bottle opener. I don't know that company, but I'm going to order one for myself. you know. So anyways, if I'm recommending something, I feel like if I don't have it myself, I should let you know that this is something that I'm interested in, but I don't have it myself. Okay, enough of that. Moving right along, we are gonna go to just like what happened this week. I'm telling you, it was kind of crazy. We went out last Saturday to the Knights of Columbus. It was a fundraiser, and it was a dinner. The dinner was fantastic. It was delicious food. But they had 2 comedians, and then after the comedians, they had music. And it was live music. It was 2 people singing, but all the instruments were pre-recorded, if you want to, I guess that's how you say it. So it wasn't a full band, but the people that were singing were live. And it was awesome. It was so fun. Danced the night away. Oh my gosh, we just had a complete blast. We were at a table with a bunch of our friends, but there was a lot of people from our church there, and just we knew a ton of people, and it was so much fun. And then, of course, you know, Ellery was over yesterday. Today's Friday, by the way. Ellery is changing every week, you guys. Oh my gosh, she's so chatty now, and she messes with ya, and she laughs, and she loves Ryan. Oh my gosh. And Ryan's moving out on the 11th. That makes me sad because I'm gonna miss him, but I'm excited for him. But yeah, so my little precious, our little precious, she's growing so fast. What else happened? Oh, my mom and Jerry are coming soon. You guys, I haven't seen my mom. Okay, listen. My mom and I are close. And this distance thing is killing us. And I went to see her, if you remember, in January. We had a complete blast, but we were there, what, 4 or 5 days. Haven't seen her since January. This is the longest span that I've been without seeing my mother. And she's so homesick. But anyway, they are pulling, they were going to come and stay in our house with us. We were going to give them our bedroom because we have a bathroom off, you know, in our bedroom. We have a walkout of our bedroom with a deck. You know, they'd have all this privacy if they wanted it or needed it or whatever, instead of having them stay in our basement, which is nice too, but with the stairs and all that, anyway, my mom didn't want to stay just 2 weeks, so they're pulling their huge 5th wheel up here, and they are going to camp down here by my studio. I know this sounds really redneck, but it's not. It's awesome. And my husband says he knows how to do full hookup out here behind my studio. So they'll have full running water. They will have, their bathroom will work, and also they're gonna have a key to the studio so they can come in and use the shower and bathroom in here. It's gonna be awesome. And so they're staying 2 months. I'm so excited. We're gonna have so much fun. I don't know how much work I'm gonna get done because I plan on taking some time off while they're here, but obviously I can't take 2 months off, and they know that. And I think that's another reason they want to have their own camper, their own like living quarters, is because they know that we have to work, and that way they can stay up late and not worry about waking us up, you know, all that jazz. So I'm so excited about that, you guys. Gosh, there was some fun stuff. Okay, so I got an email from Patty. I'm not using her last name because I didn't ask her if I could mention her, but it was just something kind of interesting. I get emails. I get a lot of just different things that surprise me. And she asked me if she said, I am looking at this chart called Santa's Galore, and it says that it was designed by you. And it didn't ring a bell to me, you know, and I know I've licensed my art in the past, like years and years ago, to Dimensions, Stony Creek, and I forgot about this one. Anyway, she sent me a picture of it, and I'm like, that is definitely my art, but I don't really remember licensing that, because back in the day, guys, this was back in 2005, this chart she's talking about. But there was a time, I mean, gosh, in 2005, my kids were young. My licensing career was just huge. It was, I had employees in my studio. I had an assistant. I had another artist that helped me paint, and our kids were young, so full of school activities and you know, them having friends over, and I mean, my life was so crazy that there's no way I can remember everything I licensed. Let's just put it that way. And that's, you know, I had an agent. She was, you know, licensing my work, of course, with my approval, but you know, I'm not gonna remember everything. Anyways, she found this cross stitch chart, and when I saw it, I loved it so much. And I told her though, I said, I'm gonna rechart that, because this was back in 2005. I'm not licensed with them anymore. This pattern or this chart is out of print. And I told her, I said, if you like it, buy it. Ooh. I sold something on Etsy. I should turn off my volume on my phone. Thank you, Jesus. When I hear that, that's what I say. Thank you, Jesus. I told her to go ahead and buy it because it's a kit. It has all the floss in it, and it's super cool. I'll insert a picture here so you can take a look at it. But also, I wanted to show you the original artwork. Isn't it cute? And there's one Santa that has a bird on his head, and I think I'm going to leave that out. But this was part of a line of fabric called Wintertime Friends, I believe. Yeah, Wintertime Friends. And this was a fabric that was like an all-over print. So some of you might be familiar with that. I don't know. So I thought that was interesting. So that's another thing I got a chart. I don't have to, but I want to. And then the last thing I want to talk about that happened this week is preparing for the punch needle class, which is tomorrow at 11 o'clock at Stitch in Time. I want to say, yeah, Stitch in Time in Saginaw. I get, oh my gosh, all these stores that start with Stitch. And I just want to show you the little goodie bag that I made for everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to give this to them. First of all, their kit will be inside. I traced the image on the weaver's cloth for them. They have all their floss in there. I give them snacks. This is just Czech mixed cheddar, and then some roasted almonds and a little bottle of water. Because, you know, we're laboring and we need our nutrition. One of my business cards, and a cute little postcard that has my angel on it, but I'm going to encourage them to send that to someone that they haven't heard from in a while, or a relative that lives far away or something. So also I'm giving them a coupon because I'm going to have a bunch of my punch needle there. Buy one, get one half off. I give them a piece of paper that says resources for punch needle, and it has like finishing ideas, and then I link them to the Flosstube one from last week where I show how to do punch needle, that little demo I did last week in the Flosstube. And then this one is just a history of punch needle and where it came from and all that jazz. And this little gift bag that they can reuse and regift because I'm not going to write on it. So yeah, a fun little gift bag. And I might add more stuff in there. I'm probably going to give them some free floss too. So anyway, I'm so excited. We have eight people in the class, and that's pretty much the limit on what I like to have in a class, because you know, you want to be able to give each person, you know, your attention and help them if necessary. And if you have a big class, it's really hard to do that. Okay, we are going to talk about Mania. And I forgot to get my laptop out and show you, so I will be right back. All right, guys, so far so good. I have designed 3 smalls this week. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow because I'm teaching that punch needle class, and I'm not going to get home till later, but maybe tomorrow night I will be able to work on a small. We'll see. All right, so in here on my laptop, I'm going to show you the 3 smalls that I've designed. And the first 12 days I wanted to do the 12 days of Christmas, but that didn't work out because I had to figure out some things on it. Let me see, here's the first one I did. No, that was the second one. Here's the first one I did. Let me minute all this other stuff we don't need to see. Okay. Here's my first little guy. Look at him, the little black cat with the pumpkin. Look at his face. I love his little face. So that's the first one I did. And that one's called Spooky and Jack. This is the second one called Long Winters. Long winters make a welcome spring. That one's cute. It's got butterflies and bees. And then we have the one I did today. I am in love with this little guy. There's back stitching and there's some half stitches, or I think they're called half. Well, someone said tent stitches, but I don't know what that is, if that's the same as a half stitch or not. But this little harvest scarecrow, I love the crows on that. Oh my gosh, I just love him. And these are all very, very small. Isn't he cute? Those little crows, and it says harvest at the bottom. So there you go. I've got 3 done. Super, super excited. All right, moving right along. So that's Mania. Whips. I can't show you my punch needle whip right now because it's for the fall issue of Punch Needle Primitive Stitchers magazine. So can't show you that, but I just started that yesterday and I love it so much that it's also going to be a chart. And that's going to be one of my smalls because it's going to be a really simple one to chart. Finishes. I have some finishes. So May 1st, I don't know how many paintings I had to do this week, but I don't know. I lose track of everything. This is, well, let me start here. Okay. This is the May image for the 2021 teddy bear calendar. Obviously for Mother's Day. A mother's reward is affection from her children. I love that. So of course June has to be Father's Day. Time spent with Dad is time well spent. And it's got little kitty peeking around over here and a little puppy dog. I thought that was really cute. And then July. I got July done too. So there you go. I only have one more image to paint and I'm going to be doing that next week. It's the November image. Peace and Plenty, I think is the name of it. And it's 2 teddy bears and one's holding this huge cornucopia with all this beautiful bounty coming out of it. So that is that. And then guess what else I did? The angels. I gotta zoom this camera out because I have to show you the angel. Zooming out. Is that as far as I can go? Okay. I said I wasn't going to show you the first one again because she was done, but I'm going to at least have her right here so that you can see how they coordinate. I'm so happy that Karen pushed me for the changes because I love this so much more now. Oh my gosh. Do you guys remember what it looked like? It was more turquoise up here. This was turquoise. So I did it navy and then I added this. This was yellow. I made it white. The background was white. I made it blue like she asked so it coordinates with the other one. The wings are now white. They were yellow. This part of her dress was the light blue that is now the background. So I made that to match her cohort there. I didn't do anything with the shells, but the crowning jewel on this one is the bottom part of her dress. So I wanted to add a pattern to it, but I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do with it. I hope you can see that. Oh yeah, you can see it. So I just took my brush and just painted these flowers, like the outline with the stem, and then just went around them with this white, which was kind of thin. I don't know. I just put layers and layers, and then I just took my brush and made all of these marks. So thrilled how it turned out. And then the center of the flowers are the silver which are on the trim of her dress and in her halo right here. Oh, you can't see it. In the trim of her dress and her halo right here, there is silver. And so the center of the flowers are now silver. So I don't know if you can see how they shine in the light. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see these. Well, I'll see them by photos in her home. They're going to be stunning. And she lives in Sarasota, Florida, and she said that if I'm ever near there to stop by so that I can see them live in her home. And I said, you betcha, when I go see my mom in Zephyr Hills, if that's anywhere near or easy driving distance to Sarasota, I haven't looked on the map yet, so I don't know. But I would love to go see her home and see these hanging in her home. So she loved them. She loved the changes, and I love the changes, and I'm so thrilled that she asked me to change them. So yay, that's done. Well, it's not done. The painting part is done. So now I have to sand them, and then I have to crackle them and antique them yet. And now I'm nervous. Like, I've done that a million times, but these are huge paintings, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So that was a finish. Oh, and I finished my Holly Hill snowman. And next week I'll have it fully finished along with the Santa. But here he is. As soon as that background color, when that floss came in, I could not wait to finish punching him. That sounds weird. I couldn't wait to finish punching him. And then, guess what came today? Oh my gosh. I get so excited, you guys. I'm like a little kid. But Mary, she stitched this so fast, and it turned out so good. I'm so excited. This will be out in June as well. Look, guys, the best thing about the future is it comes one day at a time. Abraham Lincoln. But look at her beautiful stitching. And you know, I know I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. When I design things in the computer, it doesn't do it justice. I mean, it's just so hard to tell what it's going to look like. But when I opened this, I told her, I actually squealed. I went, oh! I love it so much. I was so happy with the color choices. Because like I said, until I get it back, I really don't have a great handle on exactly how it's going to look. And this is Picture This Plus. Oh, I was going to look up what linen that is. I don't know. But I'll put it right below here. I'll have to look it up. So that's my whips. No, that's my finishes. And then haul. I have a lot of haul, and I'll go through it quickly. I had to go to Joann's just today to get DMC floss for some of the kits for tomorrow's class. So of course I can't just buy floss that I need for the class. I gotta buy a ton more than that. Plus I had an amazing coupon and I saved like $40. It was great. All right, I loved so much painting this angel on this box. I prefer obviously an antique box like that one, but I like these boxes too that you can get at Joann Fabric. I do not like these hideous hinges, so I'm either going to put leather hinges on there, or I'm going to buy some, or I'm going to take these off, and I don't know if you can take them off and antique them and put them back on. I don't know, but I'm going to change out the hinges for sure. A stenciling brush, because stencil. I didn't have one of those. I bought this like I need another cake stand, but they're great for displays. I'm gonna grungy up this white a little bit. It's just a little too white for me, but look at that wood top. I think it's actually resin. I don't know that it's actually wood, but I don't care. It was 60% off, y'all. Oh, and these two things. Oh, I wanted to see if it fit. I think I'm going to use, if Holly Hill and Mary Hill fit in these, oh, praise God, they fit. Yay! Because I didn't have anything to put these on, and I didn't think to measure them before I went, but I eyeballed it, and yes, they're going to fit in there. Obviously, I'm going to paint them first, but cool. So you'll see these FFO'd next week. Because I had another idea. I have these horn books I was going to put them on, but I wasn't really satisfied with that. So if they wanted to fit this, they would have been on the horn books, but I'm glad they fit on that. And then this I thought was pretty cool. Put a cross stitch or a punch needle in that center of that. I mean, stain this or paint it or something. Love that too. Oh my gosh, I bought another sketchbook, you guys. You know, I buy sketchbooks sometimes online, and I'll get it and I hate the pages. The paper's horrible, and it rips and tears, and it's just no good. And so whenever I can find a sketchbook and I can look at it and feel the pages, and this is perforated so I can take them out if I want, and it's a hardcover, oh my gosh, I love it. This is by Doris, which I'm shocked. They never had sketchbooks before. I've had a sketchbook similar to this, and these are really nice. You can never have too many sketchbooks, right? And then some stencils. And then what I use the stencils for, I don't use them that often, but I think it will be handy for, like, okay, for instance, on her dress, if I could do a stencil of some sort and paint around it, and, you know, I don't know, something I want to play with. Another stencil. Oh my gosh, I have so much floss. And then I bought this. They still have that at Joann. And punch needle 149 star-shaped snowman fits perfectly on this. So go to Joann. You probably can order it online as well. And then this round one I thought was cool. It's like a little palette. Obviously I would paint it, but that's cool. I'm digging through all my floss. Magnets. Can never have too many magnets. In case you want to do a Priscilla and Chelsea finish, which I've never done with the magnets, but that's why I bought them, because I want to try it. And then these I thought were super cool. I don't know, like, I'm sure you could use it somehow in finishing. But this one says be kind, and they're wood. Grateful and home. I think those are cool. But they're like laser cut wood. I know I showed those really fast. Maybe I should get a little closer. But see, aren't those cool? You know, and you could hot glue that onto a finish. And then my bag of floss. You guys, this is like, look at all this amazing yumminess in here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're so nice because they have to scan each one individually. And when I walk up, I always say, oh my gosh, you're going to hate me. But they're always so nice there. So that's my haul. That's a pretty good haul, wasn't it? I'm happy. Okay, now this table is ridiculous. I can't even. Moving on to this week's weekly whims. Not washing my hair. I heard on Facebook, because you know that's where I get all my news. Facebook. I think it's called Lange, but it's hair stuff. And a couple different people said that your hair, the more you wash it, the more you need to wash it. Like if you wash it every day, your hair is accustomed to that. And then, so the one girl said she uses dry shampoo, and she can go a week and it still looks good. I don't think I'd ever be able to go a week, but I washed my hair Wednesday. I didn't wash it yesterday and I didn't wash it today. And it still feels good and it doesn't look dirty. And I didn't use dry shampoo. Now, if I didn't want to wash it tomorrow, which I will be because I have that punch needle tutorial or class, but if I didn't want to, I could use the dry shampoo and get another day out of it. But they said your hair kind of gets adapted to not being washed and it doesn't produce as much oil. I don't know how true that is. I mean, they're selling products, so, but my hair, normally, I'm an every other day hair washer, but I've been going 2 and 3 days in between, and it's not bad. I still shower, though, every day. I still clean. It's just, you know, doing your hair is such a pain in the butt. Meditation. That's another weekly whim. That's actually a daily whim. I don't do it every single day, but I try. It is good for your mind, your body, and your soul. And you can get apps downloaded on your phone with meditation. You can go, I think at YouTube you can do it as well. But it can be a guided meditation where they talk to you and relax you, or it can just be nice soft music. You can sit in complete silence and just close your eyes and just, you know, we are so bombarded with our phone and our computer and our you know, stitching and our friends and our kids and our pets and the television, cooking dinner, going to work, I mean, laundry, cleaning the house, I mean, you know, and we need that downtime. And, you know, it's good to also, sometimes you'll get like glimpses of inspiration, and I always feel like those are whispers from God. Like, we're so busy, if God's trying to tell us something, we don't know, we don't hear him, you know. So it's good to just, you know, have that downtime. And to me, prayer and meditation, do your meditation and then do a prayer, or vice versa. But I think those two things are like, they go hand in hand, and it's just good quiet time, and I think everyone should do it. Another whim. I got this pen. I don't even know where it's at right now. I think it's with my planner. But anyway, it came in the mail, and if you own a business, you've probably gotten them or seen them, but I've always wanted to order them. I never did. But this one I ordered like 50 of them. It was pretty cheap, but it was, it says Teresa Kogut's Creative Whims, and it has my website on it. But I liked the color of it. I know that sounds stupid, but it's like a taupey gray, and it wrote really, really nice, and it's a good looking pen. And it has, the end is one of those pens where you can use on your phone. Oh, I gotta go for a second. My son's calling. Hey, Rye, what's up? So this pen has the end on it where you can use it on your phone. Like the touch screen type of computers and all that. This is a funny weekly whim. So last Saturday at that fundraiser at the Knights of Columbus, I was sitting next to my dear, dear friend Jan, which you're going to hear a lot about Jan when I do my recording about my business, because she played a really intricate role in the beginning. But she's one of my near and dear friends, and Kevin brews with her husband, so I mentioned that before too. Anyway, I was sitting next to her, and we were talking about grandkids, and she said kerfluffle. And I just said, wait a minute, what did you just say? And she said kerfluffle. And I'm like, that is the cutest word I've ever heard. Like, I adopted that instantly, and I use it as much as I can. I've never heard that word before. So I'm watching, I usually watch TV while I'm cooking dinner, and it's usually while Family Feud is on, and then after Family Feud comes Big Bang Theory. And Sheldon said kerfluffle on Big Bang Theory, and my husband and I we both went, ah! You know, we were laughing. Then I was watching Teresa Vanette's Kitchen Stitcher, one of her Flosstube. I don't even know which one, because I don't know. I can't remember, but she said kerfluffle. And I was like, everybody Everybody knows this word except me. I thought that was hilarious, but I love that word, so there you go. You might hear that in some floss tubes. And then my last weekly whim is go with your gut. Do you guys ever have this happen where you're doing something and you get this little glimpse of or a vision or a thought of something, and you kind of just keep going doing what you're doing and don't give it a second thought, and then something happens and you go, oh my gosh, if I would have just went with my gut instinct, or maybe it was a whisper from God or whatever, if I would have just done that thing, this wouldn't have happened. I have that happen to me all the time. And matter of fact, last week when those paintings fell, when I was setting the paintings where I was sending them, I had a glimpse in my head, just super quick little glimpse that said, if someone opens that door, these are going to fall. But I just kept doing my thing and getting ready for Flosstube, and sure enough, it happened. So I was trying to think of some other instances that happened, but there's been so many over my lifetime that I don't know. But so go with your gut. Listen to your gut. Listen to that. Oh, and then another thing is, when I had an agent and we were, trying to brand my name, and we were trying to think of a little tagline, I said, go with your gut, your co-gut. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. And she thought it was ridiculous, and she was like, no, we're not doing that. But don't you think that's a cute tagline? I think it's cute. All right, we're done with weekly whims. What do we have next? Questions and answers. Sharon Shite. She had more of a comment. She said, OMG, I have the fabric panel of this. And she's talking about the 12 days of folk art Christmas. She said, I quilted it years ago and I hang it up every Christmas. So this, like I mentioned, that was a whole fabric line. Well, I forgot they did this huge panel. And I have bins and bins of my quilting fabric. So I'm going to see if I can find this panel. If I have one, that's going to be a giveaway in the future. Christy Green. I'm so intrigued by the patriotic Americana board behind you. Could you show and tell us about it, please? She's talking about this. I brought it out a few weeks ago on Flosstube because I was talking about painting on antique wood. So this is an antique piece of, like a, what do you call them? Breadboard. And I painted this Americana painting on it. And it ended up being a rug, a hooked rug with Park Designs years ago. You might be able to still find it. It wasn't that many years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So you might be able to find that rug through, eBay, or just type in Park Designs. I don't remember what they titled it though. Park Designs Americana rug or something like that. You might be able to find one of their hooked rugs that is this. And then I also made that into, it's acrylic. This is acrylic painted on the antique breadboard. But I made it into a punch needle that was just released, and it is not available as cross stitch yet. See, that could be, I could do that during Stitch Mania. It wouldn't be a small, but it's fairly basic. I might be able to fit that in. We'll see. But I wanna chart it. Kyle Reckemeyer. Oh yeah, so I was talking about one of my paintings that I wanted to chart it, but it had too many words in it and I didn't know if I'd be able to. Well, he reminded me about backstitching, and he asked me if I ever did backstitching in any of my patterns or my charts, but I have. Excuse me. I have done some backstitching, and mostly it will be like on the eyes of a Santa or something like that. The Harvest Scarecrow that I did just charted today for Stitch Mania, that has some backstitching because the eyes need to pop a little bit, and then to make the straw coming out of his hat, in his hands and his feet. It just needed backstitching to define the straw. So thank you, Kyle, for the reminder, because yeah, then well, see, this one that I did here, this doesn't have backstitching on it because it was large enough, and I was able to make it fit with just regular full cross stitches. Luann Howard, she mentioned doing punch with me videos. I know a lot of people do the stitch with me videos, and the only one I've watched was one of Teresa Vernette's kitten stitcher. And I liked hers because she was sitting in her chair and talking, where I think, according to her, most people have the camera on their actual stitching so you can watch them stitch. If I did it, I would probably do a little bit of both, where you can watch me do the punch needle, and then change the camera around so that we can see each other. Not that I can see you, but, and I don't know on YouTube if people can comment. I don't know. It would be cool if you could. And I also thought about doing the camera instead of like doing a little bit of the top view, but also doing the underneath view where you can see the finished side. I thought that would be kind of cool. So Luann, I may be doing some punch with me videos. We'll see. Linda Hartsfield, have you ever used the gripper strip frame for punch needle, wondering if it works good? I have not, but I know it would work good. I can't imagine that it wouldn't. Those grippers are intense. So yes, and the reason I know they work well is because I have one that's like huge for making rugs that I had someone made for me. I had someone make it for me. I had to attach the grippers on there. I had to purchase the grippers and attach that myself, and then I had to paint the thing. But it sits like, I can sit in a chair, and it's on a stand, and it's huge. So when I do my punch rugs, which I haven't done in years, I had that for that, and I know it grips really good. All right, so that's it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna insert a video of YouTube random picker, comment picker, I don't know. I've seen Pam and Steph, I saw them do it, and someone else used that to pick the comment, and I like that a lot better because then it shows the person's comment and you can read it. So I'm gonna insert that here so you can see the winner. If I'm doing this right. Oh, look at the comments go. All right, the winner is Christy Stitches. She said 9 handmade gifts with a painting of a hoop and fabric and floss with needle. Love your videos. You have so much talent. Thank you so much, Christy, and congratulations. You get to go to my Etsy shop and pick out a 8x10 print. Congratulations, Christy. You can email me at this address right here. It will also be in the description box below. And remember, you only have a week to claim your prize. So far, that's been working out beautifully. People get a hold of me like by Wednesday, and I get it out, and I don't have to think about it anymore, so it's wonderful. And then the new drawing is going to be your choice of cross stitch or punch needle pattern for next week. And the question is, and I'm going back to last week's question because it was really good and I ended up doing something different. So this week's giveaway question is, if you could go back in time and spend a week at any point in your life, when would it be and why? That is an awesome question. I love that question. And I can tell you right now where I would go. I would go back to 2004. Ryan was 6. Kyle was 11. The business, my licensing business, was booming. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, talk about daily painting. I painted probably 3 or 4 paintings a day. Watercolor. I mean, it was just, all I did was paint. That was all I did. And the kids were young, so it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed my kids being little so much. I miss it so much. I mean, I love them being adults and having I mean, every stage is, you know, wonderful, and watching them grow into responsible and respectable adults, it's wonderful, and seeing their life evolve, it is wonderful. But I just miss the playfulness of when they were little. We had lots of fun. Also, with my business booming, I did a painting. I used to work with Books Are Fun, and I did this painting for them, and it was for a promotion. I think I might have shared this a little bit with you guys. I don't know. Anyway, it was with Books Are Fun, and it was called Old Friend Fleece Blanket. I'll insert a picture here, and if I already did it, my apologies. I forgot. But there was a promotion for them, and if a person purchased, like, say $20, they could purchase this fleece blanket for $5. Well, their sales blew out of the water because everyone wanted this blanket. And I don't even know if I should tell this story, but my Flosstube community is really small. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. So when I had my agent, I got paid quarterly. That's how it works. And now that I don't have an agent, that's how licensees pay, is they pay quarterly. Well, the sales for this blanket was so astronomical that they went ahead and sent my agent a check for this particular month. And my agent didn't tell me, and so she just took her percentage and then wrote me a check for the balance. I didn't know this check was coming. I went and got the mail this one day, and for whatever reason, you know, I saw it was from my agent. I thought, this is really weird, because it wasn't like a end quarter and I wasn't expecting any royalties. I opened up this check and it said $90,000. I screamed, and the boys come running down the hallway. Mom, what's the matter? I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I was so dumbfounded. I've never gotten that much money at one time ever before or since. I was blown away. The blanket sold for $5, and then we got like 3% of the $5, and then my agent and I split that. So if you figure that out, okay, because math, you can figure it out how many they would have had to sell for me to get $90,000. Yeah, that was the most incredible gift. And okay, not the most incredible gift. I have way better gifts than that, like my children and my husband and my family, you know. But as far as monetary, I was blown away. It's still, when I think about it, I still get like goosebumps thinking about that. But yeah, and it was at a time when, you know, we invested it for our retirement. Thank God we did, because when, you know what, hit the fan, it helped us so we didn't lose our house and everything else. Let me just tell you. You know, God provides. So, you know, if we'd have took that money and squandered it and, you know, frivolously spent it instead of investing it, we would have been in a real pickle. We definitely would have lost our house when we, you know, went through the hard times. So, you know, that's a good lesson. All right, Chinese. I want to say fire drill every time, guys. That's why I pause every single time. Chinese fortune teller, because they both start with the fortune teller and fire drill. It's like, ah. Okay, Nancy Fisher. No, that was last week. I forgot. I switched back. I'm like, no, that was last week's. Okay, Dishes and Stitches. She said blue 2-2. So BLUE 1 2 2. A scary moment or a scary time. All right, let me refer to my list of. I write things down as I think of them because I can't do it on the spot necessarily. Okay. Hey, this actually works out good because we were talking about Books Are Fun. Books Are Fun, when things were going really well with them, there was 2 different times that they flew me to their national sales convention, and I spoke to all their sales associates. And the first time I went was in Tennessee. It was awesome. I stayed at the Grand Ole Opry Hotel. It was amazing. So much fun. But the way that they did the talk was an interview, and that was so wonderful. I walked out. They had all kinds of different people that work with them and design product for them, and use their art and stuff. They had all these different people come on and talk. So they made it like it was a Oprah show. And so they had, the host of the show, and then they introduced me, and I went out and he asked me questions and we talked. It was natural. It was just felt so comfortable, so natural. And I was nervous at first, but once I got out there and started talking, it was really easy. Well, the second time they had me do this was in Boca Raton, Florida. And it was incredible. We stayed at this, if I can find pictures, I will insert them, but the whole family went. The first time I went, it was just me, but the second time we took, Kevin and I went with the boys, and we stayed after the National Sales Convention was over. We stayed and went to water parks, stayed like 2 extra days. Well, it wasn't an interview. We had to get up at a podium and talk. Well, they had me come and practice. What I had to do is I had to write what I wanted to talk about, and then they put it in this computer and it came up on a teleprompter. So the teleprompter's here, the audience is out there, and we're talking thousands of people. Thousands of people. Well, the girl that went before me was a natural. She must have been someone that did a lot of public speaking, because she was amazing. She was energetic. She was just so good. And I thought, really, you're going to put me on after someone that's that good? And she talked off the cuff, which, hindsight, I would have done that way better. But anyway, I get up there and I introduce myself and I'm talking and I'm looking at the teleprompter, which is so distracting. And it probably looked like I was reading it. And you're trying not to necessarily read it, because then it sounds like you're reading it. So I'm trying to kind of look at it, but like talk off the cuff. Anyway, because I wasn't reading it word for word, the person that was making it scroll got lost in it, and then I got lost in it, and I was so lost. And you guys, I about died right there on the stage. And finally I found my place. They found my place, and then I didn't veer too much from it because I didn't want that to happen again. But that was the most horrifying experience, and I will never in my entire life ever use a teleprompter again. I'm much better just off the cuff. I mean, so that's my story. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for your love and support. And don't forget to answer the question of if you could go back in your life at any 1 week in your life. Oh, and another thing I loved about that time, my daddy was still alive. I can't believe I didn't think to say that earlier, but I miss my dad, you guys. I miss him so much. But yeah, so go back in a week of your life that you would want to spend again. And I'm so curious to hear your answers. And then also, don't forget to participate in the Chinese fortune teller. I appreciate it. You guys have a great week, and I hope you get lots of stuff done for your Stitch Mania. Bye now.